Toby Parkins, I'm one of the founding directors of Headforwards. Headforwards is an outsourced software development company. We build dedicated teams normally for clients, large and small, generally sort of reasonable sized businesses up to global corporations. Headforwards is about 7.5 years old. So the big question is, what's going to be the impact of Brexit? And so we've already seen effects of it at a small scale. Obviously recruitment's a lot harder. There's far fewer people applying for jobs from the EU. And we're seeing that the rest of the industry, of course, actually are suffering a lot more than us in many ways. Certainly clients in the southeast, in the London area, are really, really struggling. So now in the southeast, people just rule out the idea of being able to recruit software developers in that area. So when you talk to some of the biggest companies in the world and they say that they can't recruit, that's pretty serious. Ultimately, if the UK is going to cut itself off from the world on a skills basis, the real opportunity for us is probably to expand into Europe and set up a base there. Branching out into the EU is a sensible idea. Certainly for us, we would seriously look at that. I've assessed various locations in Europe. I've looked at the legislation, what's required, the immigration policies, the setting up costs, the taxation places, as well as just looking at office space. I can basically get an office set up within the EU within a month. So I've got an emergency plan, if you like, so that if the politicians really mess the country up for us, then we can set up an expansion opportunity. So the top tips for dealing with disruption in the sort of forthcoming months. First of all, I think you need to have a really clear understanding of where all of your costs are and your supply chain, and so everything you spend money on, exactly where you're spending it at the moment. Get that really clear in your mind. Look at alternatives. Actually review the whole process. Being agile is important. Being able to review and change direction and change purchasing decisions I think it's a really important thing. The next thing is to look at where the potential challenges are coming from. And then overall, whilst it is pretty depressing, going through these sorts of down periods, especially when they're self-inflicted, don't get too down. Always just stick a picture of your favourite politician on a dartboard and throw darts at it, and then get that out of your system, and then try and be positive and think, right, okay, how are we going to deal with try and make the best out of this.